Hello, and welcome to this English learning video. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Emily, and today I want to tell you something special. If you're learning English, I really understand how you feel because I was just like you. I couldn't speak very well. I made many mistakes, and sometimes I felt nervous or shy. But now things are different. I can speak English more easily. I feel confident. I can meet people from other countries, travel, and even work in English. And today, I want to share my story with you. How I did it. How I learned English fast. Everything I share is real. These are things I really did. They helped me, and I believe they can help you too. You'll hear about the small steps I took every day. At the end, I'll also share some useful phrases and words, ones that helped me speak better and feel braver. I hope they'll help you too. So, are you ready to begin? Let's start from the very beginning. When I was 18 years old, I had a big dream. I wanted to study in another country. But I had one big problem. I couldn't speak English very well. I knew a few words. I could say things like, hello, and my name is Emily. But real conversations were hard. I couldn't understand fast English. And when I tried to speak, I froze. My brain just stopped. I forgot the words. It made me feel small and scared. But one day, my teacher said something simple that changed my life. She said, Emily, if you want to learn English fast, you have to live with English every day. At first, I didn't know what she meant. Live with English? How do I do that? But slowly, I understood. She was telling me to make English part of my life, not just something I study once a week. So I made a small plan. I took a piece of paper and wrote 3 simple words. Listen, speak, read. That became my guide. The first thing I did was very easy. I started listening to English every single day. I didn't understand much at first, but I kept listening. I listened when I brushed my teeth in the morning. I listened when I cooked my dinner, and I listened before going to sleep. What did I listen to? Easy podcasts, slow English stories, children's shows, even simple songs. There was one story I loved. It was about a girl who moved to a new city. Her English was clear. Her life was interesting. I listened to her story many times. After a week, I began to recognize a few words. After 2 weeks, I could understand full sentences. And after 1 month, something strange happened. I started speaking to myself in Younglish. It began quietly. I would look in the mirror and say things like, "Good morning, Emily," or "What are you doing today?" It felt funny at first, but it helped me a lot. My mouth got used to making English sounds. I got faster. I made fewer mistakes. And I found a trick, something called the shadowing technique. You listen to a sentence, then say it right after. You try to copy how the speaker sounds. I did that every day. Even when I walked outside, I whispered sentences to myself. That made my confidence grow. Reading also became a big part of my learning. But I didn't read big books. I started small. I read 1 short article a day. Sometimes I read children's books. Other times I read English news written for beginners. At first, I used a dictionary for every second word. But slowly, I needed it less and less. Reading helped me see how English sentences work. It gave me new words, and it made me curious. To help me remember those new words, I started something simple. I carried a little notebook with me. I called it my English book. Every day, I wrote 3 or 4 new words. I also wrote one sentence with each word. That helped me understand how to use the words, not just know their meaning. At night, I looked at my notebook and read the old pages again. It was like talking to my past self. Soon, I felt ready to talk with real people. So, I joined a free English group online. We met once a week on Zoom. In the beginning, I didn't say much. I just listened. But after a few meetings, I said, "Hi." Then I said my name. Then I answered a question. Week by week, my voice got louder. And people were kind. They listened to me. That helped me feel safe. As I learned more, I wanted English to be around me all the time. So, I started changing small things in my life. First, I changed the language on my phone to English. It was confusing at first. I didn't know where my settings were. But after a few days, I got used to it. Next, I changed the language on my Netflix. I started watching shows in English with English subtitles. One of my favorite shows was a cooking show. The chef spoke slowly. She said things like, "Stir the sauce, wait 5 minutes." I understood because I could see what she was doing. That made me feel proud. TV taught me new phrases too. Fun, real expressions like, "It's up to you." "Hang on a second." "No way." "I'm just kidding." I wrote them in my notebook, and I used them with my English friends. One of those friends was a girl from Canada named Sarah. We met on a language app. She was learning my language, and I was learning hers. We talked every day. 15 minutes in English, 15 in her language. We made mistakes, we laughed, and we helped each other grow. That's when I saw something very important. You don't need a perfect teacher to learn. You just need a kind partner. To stay organized, I made a small daily routine. In the morning, I listened to a podcast for 15 minutes. In the afternoon, I read one easy page in English. In the evening, I watched a short video. Before bed, I wrote 3 new words. That was it. Simple, small, but I did it every day. And the results were big. I also made my home into a learning space. I put sticky notes on things in my room. One said mirror. One said fridge. Another said window. Each time I saw the word, I remembered it better. It was like learning without studying. Some days were hard. I felt tired. I felt stuck. I thought, maybe I'll never be fluent. But then I looked at my goals. I wrote them on a piece of paper. I want to order food in English. I want to watch a movie without subtitles. I want to make one English friend. Reading those goals helped me remember why I started, and I kept going. One day, I noticed something amazing. I looked outside and thought, the sky is beautiful today. But I didn't think that in my native language. I thought it in English. I smiled because I was starting to think in English. That changed everything. Now, when I wanted to say something, I didn't have to translate. The words just came. I still made mistakes. Once I asked for a cup of cough instead of a cup of coffee, but the person laughed, and I laughed too. Mistakes became part of the fun. I also used new apps. One helped me review vocabulary with flashcards. Another let me listen to short English news every morning. And I recorded myself reading stories. Then I listened and improved my pronunciation. I even started writing a small diary, just 4 sentences a day. It helped me speak more clearly, and it showed me how much I had learned. After 1 year, something wonderful happened. I got a message from a company. They said they liked my profile. They said my English was good, and they offered me a job. Now, I speak English every day at work. I join meetings, I give ideas, I write emails, and I make jokes. And sometimes I teach new team members simple phrases, just like the ones I used to learn. So if you're learning English today, please remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be patient and kind to yourself. You are not slow. You are not behind. You are learning one